Hey folks, it's Dave out at the board office again. I'm excited. Today we're continuing our series of LOBR, Legends of the LOBR. And one of those legends is here with me today, and that is Helen Riggins. Hello, thank you.
Hello.
I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
We're excited to be doing these. It gives us opportunity to talk about the history of the association from those who have been there and lived it, and get some insight and information. So we appreciate you being here. I'm going to jump right into it.
Okay.
Just got some questions. I know that you joined the association in '76.
Correct.
And what year did you get your broker's license?
I got my broker's license in '76. My agent, I got my real estate license in '75, the broker's license in '76.
And as a broker, you were one of the first, I think the second, female broker in the association, as far as we are understand. Is that correct?
As far as I remember, yes.
Yeah. So you and Cricket Wolf would have been the two women. We had a chance to speak with her a couple of weeks ago, and she was saying it was very much dominated by men at the time. Did you?
Well, it was. I don't think that ever entered my mind, though, that men dominated it. I really don't.
And you obviously didn't experience any issues,
None.
As a woman in the industry or from other men in, the industry.
Well, if there was an issue, I ignored it. I didn't pay any attention to it. So, no, it had no impact on me at all.
That is excellent advice on many issues.
Yes.
in the world. So, so you got your broker's license in '76.
Yes.
And then you started an office.
No, I worked for Z Real Estate for about a year.
Okay.
And then I bought Z out.
Okay.
And then it became Lake Plaza Real Estate Company.
Lake Plaza Real Estate. And at that time, was it just you?
No, there were 2 or 3 agents that were with me at the time.
Okay. And in those early years, when you first got started, was there somebody that kind of took you under your wing or gave you some great advice?
Well, when I first started, I started with Z Myers and Simpson in over in Lake Ozark. And then I decided that I wanted to work on this side of the lake, so I came up here and interviewed with a broker, and was with that broker for 2 or 3 months, and then I called John Z and said, "You lucky thing, you're getting me back."
So what was the attraction of the West Side?
I don't know. It was just quieter, and it was totally different than the Osage Beach area. I don't know. I think the other broker that I worked for just a few months talked me into being on this side, and he told me how wonderful it was, and then I found out that he was a little strange. So that's when I called Z and said, "You lucky thing, I'm coming back." But at that time he said, "Well, you have to get your broker's license." So that would have been in '76.
Okay. And it was how long before you took over the real estate office as a broker?
I think in a week.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. And when did how did Remax at the Lake become?
Remax at the Lake was when I started my own office, Lake Plaza Real Estate Company. I had heard about Remax and thought that it was such a good idea, but I didn't. I was not able to do it until 1991.
91. Okay.
Yeah.
And in that time, those early years, we're talking late '70s. There was an introduction to the idea of the MLS.
Yes. There was a group of brokers, I would say maybe 10, maybe 12. We met at Winstead's Real Estate Company in Greenview and decided that we would do an MLS system.
Okay.
Up until that time, I would say probably more than half of our listings were not even written listings.
Wow.
No, they were all open listings. Someone walked in the door and said, "I want you to sell my house," and you said, "Where is it?" and got the keys, and that was pretty much it.
A little simpler? A little less complicated?
It was a lot different in those days. We had a one-page listing agreement, a one-page contract. It was just a whole different world.
Well, you didn't have the MLS at first, so you were, and this is my understanding from speaking with you and some others, that the listings were all on paper. You had pictures that you would hang up if somebody wanted to see something.
Yes, I think once a week we got this little packet, and I don't know if it was delivered or I don't think it was mailed. I think it was probably delivered, and we all had the little books. They were like 4 by 8.5 or something like that, and there were 3-ring binders, and we put the new listings in, pulled the old ones out. We had cup hooks hanging all over the walls in our office, and we had all of these little pages on those cup hooks, and people would come in and go look through.
Oh.
Yeah, that was, and you know, we spent a lot of time back in those days because we had no cell phones, we had no fax machines, we had no computers.
Yeah, all labor intensive. Everything you did.
It seems like I spent half my life looking for a payphone so I could call the office. And we don't have those anymore.
You don't have that issue anymore, do you?
Nope.
And Superman doesn't have a place to change.
I guess.
You know, it's sad. So what was the best advice you got early on?
Oh,
Was there somebody that gave you some good advice, or somebody that took you under the wing? Or
I would think John Z probably as my first broker. He so thoroughly enjoyed the business. I think that he helped me with that because I've always thoroughly enjoyed the business. It never ever seemed like a job. It was just, this is fun.
And they say that if you can find something that you love doing, do it the rest of your life.
Right.
You know, you'll never work a day.
That's right.
You know, although you have worked a few days, put in a couple of weekends. You know,
yes.
That Cricket said that was the thing that she was most excited about getting back, was her weekends. So, at the time that you were in the association and they were talking about the MLS and these guys were getting together, was there a driving factor, one thing that everybody was just, you know, that we've got to have it because?
I guess it was probably because it's possible that Bagnall was maybe doing it at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
The MLS changed the way you did business.
Yes, absolutely.
And
Because then we shared all of our listings, where previously to that, the listings weren't shared at all.
so the only listings you would have would be the listings in your office.
Well, you had the list, yes. Or if
Or
you
friends.
saw someone sign, you could call that office and say, you know, will you co-broker with me? And they might, and they might not.
So at the time that the MLS was coming in, and this was before computers, so how would the MLS work for you then?
Well, like
without
I
the
said, we
computers,
had
you
all
just
of
had the
the
books.
We just had the little books, and we
So
had
they
the
had
papers.
everybody's
and
listings in it.
everyone that belonged to MLS.
All right. So that's how you knew what everybody else's listings were. So those were
Right.
delivered to you, and you got to look through those, and everybody had the same one.
Yes.
And then how long before the computers came in? I mean, this would have been, when did we at LOBR start looking at, I know it was within the last 20 years. I mean, it has to be.
It had to have been sometime in the 80s. I don't remember exactly when. But I remember that our first, I don't know whether it was a computer or what, it looked just like a little printer. And we accessed MLS through the phone lines.
Oh my goodness, dial up.
Yeah, it was all dial up. And then it printed them out, and it was sort of, you know, it wasn't like printing that we see today
Right.
by any means. So,
Right. And how about pictures? Did you, were pictures as important at the time?
No, not really. I mean, we had black and white pictures, but we didn't have any colored pictures, I don't think, or at least I don't remember them.
Things have changed.
Yes, they have.
You know, I can only imagine if your 76 self could have seen what was coming you know, in 2021.
I don't know that I would have believed it.
What's the best advice that you can give somebody in this industry?
Probably to continue to be educated about the real estate business, to participate in the board. You know, I think that would be a good idea. And probably, of course, knowledge is a lot of it, but I would think persistence. Persistence is one of the things that I think one of the things that has helped me in all these years.
Don't give up.
No, you don't ever give up, no matter what.
Keep moving forward no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's incredible advice for absolutely everything we do in life.
Well, that's true.
And everyone. And great advice there from Helen. See, that's the way that works. You know, we've had great fun. We got to chat a little bit. We got a little more information. And the important thing is that we got to spend a little time with her on a special day where we get to record some of this information and keep it. You know, I appreciate the fact that you guys are watching. We appreciate the fact that you guys are here.
Thank you.
And if if you keep your eyes open, you just might see some new stuff coming up here in just a bit as we continue with the LOBR Legends of LOBR series for our YouTube channel. Thank you guys very much, and hope you all have a great day. And now you know what I know, and that's news from the board office.